Hello everybody, finally a new video from Rene from Spain, and this is finally my top 15 from 2019. I already saw nearly everybody from the VC that made this video like this, showing their favorite albums. Not everybody made a top, like a top 10 or top 15 or top 20. Some people just gave points to records, and then, of course, it went on like that from maybe 6 points, 7 points, 8 points till their favorite album of the year. But I'm going to do it the traditional way, the way I always did it. It's my top 15 that goes from 15 till 1. Only studio albums and only full-length albums. Because I no live recordings, no EPs, no demos or anything like that. Just full-length albums. Okay, first I want to mention a couple of things. I want to mention 2 very good live albums that came out in 2019 that are not a part of this list, of course. The first one is the Repentless Trilogy. I already talked about this before. It's just an outstanding live album. I love the set list. I love also the sound. Some people complained a little bit about the sound, but to me, I don't hear any bad sound in it. It's just a nice atmosphere with the audience, with the band playing. It's really good. And this is Aggressiva live album that also came out this year. Ritual Live, 10 years in war. This is when they were celebrating their 10th anniversary. And just this year, this band is from Madrid, and just this year, a new album is coming out. It's actually on my way. They're sending a copy of the CD on my way, and I will show that in the future. And Aggressiva is a band, if you like Ice Earth or Annihilator, like a mix of those two. I think that's what you get from Aggressiva, with some more US power metal maybe mixed in, but it's really good, Aggressiva. Okay, I also want to show 2 EPs of 2 Spanish bands that I really love. And the first one is, I already talked about this one too, and it's Evil Realm by Red Shark. It's an outstanding EP. I made a video about this, but you can check that. And this is great stuff. If you like League Lords, Jack Panzer, Exciter, check them out. Red Shark. This is their first. This is the EP. They already did the demo and all the EP before, and a kind of a promo CD with 1 song. But this is the more quality, the most quality release till date. And it came also out the end of 2019. It's just outstanding. Just check Sentence to Kill or The Beginning of the Storm. Great songs. Red Shark. With Philip from Inverted Cross, another band I like very much. And here we have a band that's formed by Victor from Witch Tower, a Spanish band called Witch Tower. And Witch Tower is also going to release an album, or they just released a new album. I think it's the 3rd full-length album. And this is Toca Madera, and this is more Spanish heavy rock from the 80s sounding. If you like Panther, Goliath, Obus maybe too, like that style. Toca Madera. And this is an EP that came out on Demons Records. I also made a video about this already in the past. Okay, some honorable mentions. Bands, records that didn't make my top 15, but I still like. Hammer of Justice by Thor. I love Only the Strong. We all love Only the Strong in the early days. But Thor is making records practically every year. Since 2007, 1997, when he came back in 1998, he has been releasing records all the time. And some of those records are really good. There's always a couple of tracks that are not so nice on each of his records. That came out after, since he's back. But most of it is always good. And he has a great sense of humor. He doesn't make fun of anything. He's just his sense of humor is very good. Also this Sammy Hagar, The Circle. This is also quite a good album. I mean, I listened to it, I liked it, but I expected it to be even better. But it's still, of course, very good. And Sammy Hagar, you know, his vocals is very good. I also expected this to be a little bit better. It's Ultimas. And this is the singer of, the ex-singer, of, or maybe it's the singer again now. No, I don't think so. Dave Vincent from Morbid Angel. See, he got this band together with some other guys that are important in the scene, and they've been touring already for this album. It's just old school death metal. The name of the album is Something Wicked Marches In. This is on tape. This is another Spanish band that is very good. This album, Toy Veldhall, and this I think is the first thing they ever released. It's just heavy metal. That's what this really is all about. Some heavy rock, some darker touches to it, but it's just a good album. It's a little difficult. Maybe you can see. If you want to check this band out, I don't know really how to say the name of the band. And they even sing a song in German, with German, you know, in German lyrics. And later I'll talk a little bit more. This is also a horrible mention, horrible mention. No, honorable mention. My English sucks, but anyway, at least people understand me. Crash Diet with a new album, and some other stuff. The new Overkill could have been maybe on my top 15 if I would have bought it, but maybe not because I didn't really play it very much. But I remember listening to it; it was very good. Of course, Amenti, you know, with the singer of Avalanche, you know, from the Yama Eterna, Spanish band. Amenti, I have the CD, but I didn't show it now. Aphrodite. Okay, Aphrodite I can show because this I have it just here. Aphrodite, and this is with Tanza from Dimona. I don't know if some people still remember this band, Dimona. They released a couple of records and some demos and some EPs, some 7-inch singles. Dimona, I love Dimona. It's speed metal. If you like Living Dead, for example, the German Living Dead, or the first War Dance EP, or the Pain album, you know, Iron Angel and stuff like that, you should really check Dimona. But this is also speed metal, but I expected, I'm not disappointed with it, but it's just not on my top 15 list. Okay. The new Steve Grimmett, you know, the Grim Reaper could have been, at least on my, I could have showed that. Let me see. Of course, everybody talked about the Possessed album, Revelations of the Oblivion. It was very good. Angel came with the comeback album, Ryzen. That's really a good album, really, really good. Abad came out with their second album, Outstrider. I liked really a lot. I was also surprised with Beast in Black, From Hell with Love. There was a second full length. I saw them live this year. There's so much. Ruthless came out with Evil Within, Savage Master, Might, Magic, and Steel. I mean, I listened to it, but I didn't buy it, and it's not on my top 15. The Steel Prophet comeback album, The God Machine, also a good one. Lujuria, a Spanish band I like a lot. Somos Belial, also not on my list. Uren or Surper. Kettle Decapitation. Dark Throne new album. Mayhem new album, that was really good. The new Mayhem, that also is not on my list. The Hound, second full-length album. If Icarus Could Fly. Maybe Dunedain, Memento Mori. But yeah, I saw them live just now. But the album is not super good. But anyway, just before I start my top 15, because this video is going to be very long, it's 2 albums that disappoint me. And the first one is King Roberts, The New Normal. I love the song Beginning of the End. Then we have Alice Cooper on it. Alisa White from Arch Enemy is on it too. Just a great, great song. A great video clip too. Beginning of the end. Check it out. But the rest of the album disappointed me a little bit. A lot maybe. And this was the biggest disappointment. The Lost Enforcer album. But anyway, I don't have to talk about it anymore, because if not, the video is going to be too long. Okay, let's start. With number 15. Okay, I will check the lists a little bit, because I don't want to make any mistake. Okay. Phil Campbell, ex-Motorhead guitar player, of course. He also has this Phil Campbell and the Bastard Son, and Bastard Son, so you know that he does with his sons. His sons are playing on here too, but here we have a lot of different artists, you know, are performing on here, like Dee Snider, for example, and a lot of other artists. Joe Satriani is on it too. It's just a must-have. It looks like an acoustic record, because the guy is with an acoustic guitar, but it's not. You know, maybe the first song, yes, but later it has a lot of heavy songs. It's just an outstanding album. I mean, I love all the songs on it, to be honest. It's really, really good. Okay, on number 14. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, on number 14 we have Sacred Reich comeback album. Awakening. Just 8 tracks, but not bore. Like, that's why, of course, there are 8 great tracks. You know, not one boring part is on here. You have like faster songs, slower songs. It's not just all boom, 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 like, you know, like heavy songs. It's a lot of variation on this album. It's like kind of a power thrash metal album, like, let's say it like that way. It's really, really good. This comes also with a poster. This came out on Metal Blade Records. Okay, on number 13 is an album I don't have. It's A New Revenge, Enemies and Lovers. And that is an album with Ripper Owens. Sorry, Ripper Owens. That's, you know, we know from Judas Priest and from Ice Earth, you know, from a lot of different. And also there's more famous people. I think also, yes, I should have written it down, but there's a lot of famous people playing in this on this album. A New Revenge is the name of the band, and the album is Enemies and Lovers. I haven't bought it. I played it a lot on YouTube, but I will buy it in the future. But it's not possible to buy everything. Okay, now we have number 12. Killswitch Engage with Atonement. And that is this one. Great cover art, in my opinion. A very intense album. Here we have, of course, Jess Leach is back in the band. He came back when they released this album. This is probably my favorite album by the band. Disarm the Descent. But this one is very, very good. You know, Howard, I never really cared about the Killswitch Engage when Howard was in the band. But I like the old Killswitch Engage with Yes. And then Yesy, and when he came back again with this album, I started following them again. But Howard is also playing a song together with Yes on this album. Yesy. A really, really, really good album. Very intense. A lot of thrash metal on it. It's just very cool. Very traditional sounding album. You know, don't expect alternative or new metal stuff. Or, I don't know. Of course, they are under the metalcore. But everybody think, okay, they are going to be super modern metalcore. Like, it's not the case. It's not the case at all. Okay, on number 12, we have Dead Angel with Humanize. See, this is not a very good album. I mean, they have been making very good albums. Especially, I like this two. Relentless Retribution. The Dream Calls for Blood. And The Evil Divide. And The Evil Divide, I think this one is better than The Evil Divide. But I don't think the Humanizer is better than these two. These two are probably practically my favorite Dead Angel albums, you know. Okay. There we go with number 10. Yes, number 10 is the new Amon Amarth, Berserker. These guys are getting bigger and bigger every year, with each record more and more popular. Their shows they're giving are just amazing. You know, when we don't have bands like Iron Maiden anymore around or Judas Priest, these bands will be the headliners at the biggest festivals in the world. They already have been headliners, you know, at some of the biggest festivals of Europe. Amon Amarth with Berserker, an album that grows on you from the first listen. You know, it just gets better and better and better after each play. Okay. On number 9, we have Ram with their new album, The Throne Within. Really good album again by Ram. They have been experimenting a little bit on the one before too, but on this one too, with some more 80s melodies in it. You know, like more commercial 80s sounding stuff. Like, for example, what Judas Priest did back with the Turbo album. Those little commercial touches. You know, and I really like that. I just don't know a couple of songs. But, you know, but the record is pure heavy metal. It's really good. Okay, on number 8, we have Majesty new album. Legends. That is, I like it very much. Of course, they changed their sounds. Nowadays, they sound a lot more, also again, like 80s, more 80s. Before they sounded like Manowar. It was also like, it was more timeless stuff. But you know, like heavy metal, traditional heavy metal is more like timeless. It's, you know, it's like it's heavy metal and it sounds incredible in 2019, and the same it sounded in the 80s. But sometimes the 80s you had this for a time where you had more this commercial, where an AOR sounds. The heavy metal bands got influenced by the hard AOR sounds. You know, they also took influences and they became more commercial. It happens to a lot of bands, they became more commercial. You know, like putting synthesizers in the music, you know, to make it all sounding more sellable. And I think that's what they did too. You know, I think if you like Beast in Black, you also like this album by Majesty. You know, all the old stuff sounds more like Manowar. You know, Manowar and through metal. And this is more commercial, more keyboard orientated stuff. And Enforcer tried to do something similar with this album. You know, putting a lot of commercial keyboards in it, you know, synthesizers. But it just doesn't work because the songs are not strong. But the songs on this album are strong. Let's check it out, please. Okay. On number 7, we have Wheel of Deception. This is the first release that came out with No Life Till Metal. You know, Wheel of Deception. For the first time, they were on this label and they released this album. Power Thrash Metal, I would call this. If you like Annihilator, Ice Earth, Flotsam and Jetsam, even Steel Prophet, you know, you should check out this album. For sure, most of you guys already did. Dissident Voices, and it's it's a nice artwork too, good songs, just a nice album, and to play it over and over again. It's something I did. Okay, on number 6 we have Pretty Maids with Undress Your Madness. Amazing. The singer is a little bit ill now, but I hope so he gets better soon. This is just a killer record. You know, that a lot of people already showed in the VC. Okay, that's why it's just a good album. I don't want to talk so much about it more. And then we have, on number 5, we have Toxic Holocaust with Primal Future 2019. I haven't bought that album. I listened to it a lot on YouTube. I will buy it, of course, but I haven't bought it yet. And now, on number 4, we have Born to Paris by Destruction. I have this on tape. Killer album. The best album since Metal Discharge, in my opinion. The sound is more organic. It's not so overproduced, like some of their older albums, like Inventors of Evil or Demolizer or Demonizer or something like that. But this is just better than those albums. This is a killer record with only great songs. The tape doesn't have this